Hi guys, welcome to Happy Visas. I've been asked a question. It's about the Russian economy. What industry sectors are there in Russia? Where can I find a job in Russia? Where should I be looking? And how well is the economy doing? Is there, what's the employment figures like? So the main sectors at the moment is, if you're in farming or agriculture, it's a great time to come to Russia. Russia used to import 20% of its food more than 20 years ago. Now it probably exports close to about $35 billion dollars a year worth of food. So obviously, not many people talk about agriculture, but it's a massive money earner for the Russian economy. You've got your obvious ones, like you've got like the oil and gas sector. They're now heavily into, oil and gas, obviously, the liquefied natural gas because of, the pipelines are closed to Europe now. So the Europeans are buying probably a less quality product because the pipeline stuff was very, very good gas. And obviously a lot more expensive because to liquefy it and to transport it is quite expensive. So the Europeans are now buying that. So if you're in the, liquefied natural gas or the oil sector, you're an engineer, you'd probably find a job. Not as easy as years gone by. The oil and gas sector has been hit by sanctions and, a lot of Russians, despite almost full employment, are looking for jobs in that sector. Another area is anything to do with commodities. The gold mines are doing obviously well. Price of gold has doubled in price. A lot of other commodities, like iron ore, diamonds, these are all doing very well. These are sectors, anything to do with commodities, metals, precious metals, raw diamonds. Russia has all of this. Rare earth metals now, very soon. I guess they're going to be mining in Donbass, in Luhansk areas. They're going to be mining for rare earth metals. So if you're an engineer or a geologist in that sector, I guess they're crying out for you. They're the main sectors. Now, if you're an accountant, you're going to struggle. If you're a lawyer, you're going to struggle here. But if you're prepared to work in a factory, a lot of jobs at the moment. Obviously, with what's going on in the world at the moment, there's a shortage of manpower. So if you're prepared to work in a factory, certain areas, certain regions will pay you quite well. Depending what you're manufacturing in. So probably, the cost of labor in the manufacturing sector is more than doubled in the last couple of years. I mean, it has got really, really, quite expensive. If you want to work in McDonald's, as I've said in previous videos, expect to earn about £700-800 a month, I guess. It's not called McDonald's anymore, obviously. It's Just Tasty. If you translate, it's called Just Tasty. That's it. And nothing else. Supermarkets, I see them advertising, in all the supermarkets now, about 120,000 rubles. There's a red and white shop over there. It's like a beer shop they've got in the window. Starting salaries 79,000. And for a manager, I think it was 116,000 advertised. That's where I buy all my beers from. It's red and white supermarket. If you're prepared to do anything, then there's plenty of work available. If you're a bit picky, you might struggle. Most expats who made it here and then failed, for whatever reason, and me here, obviously, not many people are traveling now, and as a British immigration advisor, I've fallen on, training. I train people in English. So I go into people's offices. I teach them online. I help motivate them online. So a lot of expats fall back on, teaching English. A lot of people just do conversational English, business English. People you're going to be teaching are not going to want grammar. They've already learned that at school, or they've already had a Russian teacher who taught them that. And if you put your CV, your biography on, companies like Repetit, Headhunters, Profi, all these will give you work teaching, and maybe other sectors as well. If you're prepared, if you're good with your hands, a lot of building work going on. It is going through a downturn at the moment, the building industry, because, before they used to subsidize the mortgage if it was a new house, not anymore. They've stopped that subsidy or subsidized mortgage. So the building industry has taken a little bit of a hit, has gone down a little bit, but there's still a lot of work out there in that sector. Building companies just cannot stop building. They've got all the staff, they've got all the people. So even in a downturn, they try to keep building, which they're doing. And, but the profit margins are not as high, and probably the salaries are starting to go down a little bit. So in brief, in a nutshell, guys, 2.5% unemployment here. Interest rates are very high, 21%. If you want to take a mortgage, you're going to be paying about 24% plus insurance. But overall, the economy in some sectors is booming. And I forgot to add, sorry guys, if you're in the technology sector, if you're in the internet technology, you're an engineer, big demand, for that, for them sectors. So yeah, if you're in IT, you can also find a job in that sector. Guys, I don't get paid for these videos, so please please subscribe. Very soon I'm going to be putting buy me a coffee there. I'll be putting that soon. So, I've got to feed the family. Cheers guys. Thank you.